So the Hmong language is fascinating. But for me, also sometimes frustrating. I didn't really spend much time in high school learning another language, or at least not much effort into learning another language. So when I got into the MTC, it was all new, right, to me, learning a new language. I had companions who had learned like 5 or 6 languages in the MTC. That they were my companions. They'd learned like 5 or 6 languages before, and so they came and they caught on. But for me, I struggled. It took me a long time before I felt really like I could talk as much as I wanted to, or even teach. Right, it took me a long time, and so it was tough. As far as relation to other Asian languages, it sounds Asian. Like if you hear it, you'll be like, okay, yeah, that's Asian, right? An Asian sounding language, but not a lot of relation to any other language. They do steal a couple words from like Vietnamese or Laotian words, but most of it's pretty unique to itself. It's a tonal language. So tonal language meaning that depending on how you say the word, it can mean something different. Hmong has technically 9 tones, I guess. The 9 one's kind of a fake one. But so, for instance, right, I could say a word like gu is a word in Hmong. I could say that word 9 different ways, and it might mean, and 7 or 5 or 6 of them might actually be real words, right? So I could say it like gu, or I could say it goo, 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 right? And all of that would mean something different depending on my tone, how I say the word. And so that was probably the hardest part for me. Their language is also interesting because for a long time they didn't have a written language. So as missionaries, we use a written form of their language that was created in the 70s. So it's not like script like you would think if you're trying to read Japanese. It's not a script type language, but it's more of, it's Romanized characters put together that use, and then the last letter of the word usually is the tone. So it tells you how to say the word. So that made it a little bit easier that I didn't have to learn new characters to be able to read it at least. But the tones always caught me. And so because it's a tonal language, they have some fun phrases like one of my favorites is gu ka 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 gu ka gu, right? And so that means I poke you so that consequently you'll poke me back. And so just fun little phrases like that. There's another one. See if I can remember. It's ba 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 how ba, right? I don't even know if I said it right, but basically it's like the lady saw the grandma throw the ball into the thorn bush or something funny like that. And they just these little fun little sayings that they can create because it's tonal, right? And so just depending on how you say the word makes it mean something different. So that was a lot of fun.